Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Hello, Josna.
Hello, sir.
So we'll wait for another 2 minutes something so other participants may join. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So today we are going to discuss about yoga philosophy, which is there in your curriculum. Correct, no?
Hmm.
So we'll wait or we'll start because it's now 4:03 in my watch. 4:03
Uh,
p.m. 4 o'clock and 3 minutes past. Yes, Mamta joined. All right, we'll start.
hmm.
Let's let's other join one after another, not a problem. I think Omya Kanti is also joined already. So, what does it mean by yoga philosophy? Why shall we
Afternoon.
discuss about? Hi, good afternoon. So, why shall we discuss about yoga philosophy and how is it relevant for the contemporary society? That we need to discuss first. Then we'll go into yoga philosophy and see whatever their contribution they made for the society and indeed their contributions are relevant for us or not. So first we'll have a brainstorming session. What is yoga philosophy? Anything that comes to your mind, you can share with me. What is yoga philosophy?
Uh, it is a method to unite with the divine, uh, union with the divine. Uh, so it emphasizes those practices and to achieve kaivalya and have chitta vritti nirodha.
Ah, correct, correct. What is chitta? What is vritti and how it is related to nirodha? The expression is correct
Chitta,
actually. Tell me.
in the chitta, it is the various types of vrittis like tendencies arise, and until they arise the karmic cycle will continue, and by yogic practice one destroys those sanskars which are continuing the karmic cycle, and thus the final goal of kaivalya is attained. uh, so nirodha is to cease the continuous fluctuation vrittis that are arising uh, in the chitta, and chitta is where the being is residing in a state of ignorance, something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah, we'll discuss about it. Okay. Anyone else? Good, good. Some words are perfect actually. Rest of the things we are going to discuss. Yes. Anyone else wants to say what is yoga philosophy? When I say yoga philosophy, what is that comes to your mind? Josna, Mamta, Amyakant, anyone wants to participate? In other words, why shall we study yoga philosophy? What is there? No? Okay. Okay. So, as Ambrish said, that it's something to do with our mental health and physical health. Yoga philosophy tells that to realize ourselves as an individual soul, and at the same time, we'll try to find out the methods and means to connect with the spiritual soul. That is the whole purpose. Now, the question is that why shall we do that? Why shall we realize our individual soul and why we should put an effort to connect with the spiritual soul? Yoga philosophers they say that you and me and all of us, those who are living on this earth, we are suffering various ways. That called klesas. Klesas means dukkha. So there are many types of klesas or suffering, pain that we are experiencing in our day-to-day activities. Some dukkhas are due to dvesa, some dukkhas are due to aversion, some dukkhas due to anger, some pain or suffering due to expectations, and there are many. Sometimes, for example, you do not want to mingle with somebody. That person is coming close to you. You have suffering, you get irritation. Sometimes, all of us, we have some or other sense of ego. That's arrogance. So that because of that arrogance, we expect many more things from others. When we don't get it, we annoy. Then ignorance. Many times we think that we are so and so, but in reality we are not so and so. Then suffering starts. Then there are other kind of sufferings like insects. Mosquito is biting in the evening. You didn't do anything harm to the mosquito, but then you get irritation. Whenever wherever you are eating, you find that so many flies are flying. You have not done any enmity. You have no enmity with flies, but they irritate you. Similarly, you are walking on the road, you find a bunch of honeybees, they are coming and injecting the poison in your body. Something like it happens. Suppose you are walking on the road without hurting the snake. Snake is coming forcefully and biting you. Suppose you are walking in the road or bicycling on the road, street dogs chase you with loud barking sounds. You get irritated? Yes or no? Those who are having pet cats, you are having meals, pet cats will come to you, then will sound something and the whole, say, I would say, the force that will be putting on your, say, rice or whatever you are eating. Bilir or rummo jota ame kahuche, that thread hair, isn't it? Rummo jota kahuche ame, or for you. So therefore there are so many ways we are suffering. Then the another level of suffering is that today whatever pleasure we get it, tomorrow we may not able to get the similar pleasure. By thinking that also we are suffering. Those who think that today we are in our parents' house, everything okay, we are in the students, so no responsibility. By the time they get into grahastya, that's a different stage of life, they have a different level of suffering. The time when they enter into old age, there is a different type of suffering. So therefore, suffering is inevitable on this earth. When we talk about suffering, we talk about mental suffering, and that also affects our body. So therefore, body suffering. So suffering necessarily means mental suffering as well as bodily suffering. In other words, psychological suffering plus physical suffering. That's put together suffering. Correct, no? So therefore, the question arises: is there anyone who lives on this earth without suffering? The answer is no. Irrespective of age, height, body structure, complexion, religious belief, economic conditions, anything that you take into consideration, there is no such individual who lives on this earth without suffering. So, if suffering is inevitable, we should know the causes, we should know the regions that make us suffer on this earth. And how shall we know that? That yoga philosophy is going to tell us. And the basic purpose is say that if we understand our the true nature of self, then most of the suffering can be minimized. But sufferings cannot be eradicated. Remember, the level of suffering, the quantity of suffering that we are experiencing, that can be minimized to a large extent. That's the whole purpose. So, in a short statement, they say that mental maladies and physical maladies can be removed, can be eradicated to a large extent if we follow yoga philosophy and practice certain prescriptions made by Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Patanjali Yoga Sutra is the classical text. From there, yoga philosophy came into existence. And we are going to discuss the classical text in a very short and precise manner. Is that okay? So now, yoga philosophers, they said that chitta is the only element that is the evolution, that is the product of the evolution, like human evolution, the cosmos evolution. So similarly, the first product of the universe, when evolution starts, the first product of the universe is known as chitta. Now, what is chitta? Chitta is not our mind. Chitta is not our brain. Chitta is not our body. Chitta is not our sense organs. Then, what is chitta? Chitta consists of three entities. One is mind, intellect, and ego. Mind, intellect, and ego. The three entity you put together in different proportionate manner, that becomes chitta. So because of chitta, our sense organs contact with different objects restlessly. Like now you'll be looking at something, the next second you'll be looking at something. Now your mind is somewhere else, the next moment your mind take you somewhere else. Again you drag it and focus on a particular point. After a few minutes, again your mind will take you somewhere else. Again you have to drag it. So therefore, if you closely observe, you will find that because of chitta, you are getting really distracted. The concentration level is zero, the attention level is zero, and therefore we are hankering for so much worldly pleasures, and hence suffering is inevitable. Got it? This is called chitta. So the chitta is a psychophysical entity, consists of mind, intellect, and ego. And whenever I say mind, I mean brain, because those do not have brain, or for the individuals where brain do not function, they will not be able to use their intellect. Their sense organs would not be able to process the data, and henceforth, according to yoga philosophy, it is our duty and it is our responsibility to control our chitta. Hence, we can have control our mind. Once we have control our mind, we can control our sense organs, and once we control our sense organs, we can control our body parts. That includes our vocal, like oral behavior and then physical behavior. Oral behavior means, suppose you are annoyed for some reason, and you said something to someone which later you regretted. It happens. You didn't have control on your tongue. You made some statement which you didn't intend, and later you regret. All of you have experienced something like that. Then later you'll be thinking, oh, I could have avoided that moment. I could have stopped myself without speaking anything. Correct, no? But once you have made your statement, you felt like it was bad. You could have avoided it. So this oral behavior and the actions like throwing utensils, for example, and just behaving with an object very unnatural ways. These things you could have avoided if you control your chitta. Correct? So therefore, yoga philosophers say controlling chitta means controlling mind. Controlling mind means controlling the sense organs. And controlling the sense organs means having command on your vocal power as well as the physical action. So therefore, whatever action you will perform, you will have control on that. Whatever language you will use to communicate your ideas, you will have control on that. Correct? And therefore, chitta is an essential element. Now, when it comes to chitta brutti, they say the chitta is restless, and therefore, whenever we see an object, chitta modifies with the same object. Not difficult, but little concentration is required. Suppose now you are seeing a water bottle, so your chitta forms the size of the water bottle, color of the water bottle. The next moment when you are seeing your wristwatch, the chitta occupies the shape and size of a wristwatch. So every moment chitta is getting modified. That's called chitta brutti. When it connects with every object, chitta makes a shape of that. Correct? So at a given time, if you have so many objects, you feel restless. And chitta brutti nirodha means how to stop that chitta to connect with multiple objects within fraction of second, and therefore make that human being restless. So nirodha means what are the ways, what are the means we can stop our chitta so that our mind can be controlled, our sense organs would not be able to connect with different objects at a given moment of time. It would not be so fast, and that would not tempt us to acquire so much wealth, so much power, arrogance, and so things. All right, that is the whole purpose. And what is the goal of it? That we want to live a peaceful life, not a happy life. Remember, we want to live in a peaceful life. Like in Diwali or New Year, everybody say, no, wish you a happy, prosperous, blah, blah. Prosperous life will never give you a peaceful life. That would aspire you to achieve one after another things. Yes or no? So now onwards, you will write a message that we wish that you should have a peaceful life. which is very difficult to obtain, isn't it? What is a peaceful life? Whatever we are, whatever we have, we should be happy with that for that moment. Yes, Mamta, is it mute, Mamta? I'm not able to hear you. You have some questions to ask? I'm still not able to hear you. Can you unmute your mic and ask?
No, no, sir. No, sir. Some problem.
Okay, that's okay. Leave it. Not a problem. Okay, that's okay. Okay. So therefore, we are saying chitta vritti. It means what are the ways we should control it. That's all about. Ready now? So now, therefore, we are going to discuss the classical text called Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Is there anyone who has visited towards Uttarakhand side where Patanjali Yoga is really practiced? Anybody knows that?
Yeah, I lived there for many years.
It's very peaceful life, isn't it? Like very
Yeah,
neat and clean, and people take care of the environment, something like that, isn't it?
yeah, that whole area is filled with many ashrams and a river, Ganga River, and good
Yes.
nature.
Like somebody can feel like a peaceful life without getting disturbance. Everything becomes normal kind of things. You get a positive vibe in ordinary language, isn't it? Yes. So
Yeah,
therefore, here we'll go some PPT. I'll be able to run. I guess all of you might have seen the PPT from your screen. Correct? No? Is it all visible to all of you? Yeah, of course. So therefore, we say we the human beings, irrespective of our gender, religion, economic condition, political affiliation, geographical condition, all these things keeping aside, we the human beings have body, sense organs, and mind, and these three things are connected in such a manner that that gives us so much cravings attitude within us, and therefore we hanker for many more things because the sense organs connect with different objects. For example, you are walking on the road, you see that some vendor is selling some good, say fruits, mango, even though you don't have an intention to purchase, but you cannot stop yourself appreciating the color of the mango, the size of the mango, and your imagination about the flesh and taste of that mango. Yes or no? So in this sense, you'll say that how the sense organs are tempting us to get attached with different objects, and therefore you, me, and all of us, we are drawn in the river where bondage and suffering are inevitable. So now to stay away from this suffering or to minimize this suffering and pain from the earthly life, what are the pains? Physical pain and mental pain. What are the things we need to do? We need to control our chitta. So therefore, we need to, here I have written, to do so, the chitta needs to be controlled. And by now you have understood what is chitta. Correct, no? Okay, so in this respect, we are going to discuss the yoga text or the classical text of Patanjali Yoga. Some of you may be knowing some of the things, some of you may not be knowing some of the new things. So therefore, it will be new learning for all of us. And what is the purpose? Purpose is to control our passion, our desires, our cravings towards worldly pleasures. Having said that, yoga philosophers they said that everybody must require the basic necessity for survival. So long as they are getting the basic necessity, their chitta is not getting disturbed. Chitta is not getting connected with so many objects. So, in this sense, they say that there are methods to be practiced to control our chitta. And what are these methods? These methods are as follows: Yama, Niyama, Asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Samadhi doesn't mean graveyard. Samadhi mane smasana nuhe hela. One should not misunderstand. Samadhi means something else. Usually in Odia language we say samadhi means smasana, isn't it? Graveyard. But that's not true. So that is a stage, last stage where we can control our chitta, control our sense organs. So out of this eightfold path, one may think that I will do some asana, means postures. Surya Namaskara, Bakrasana, Chakrasana, Sirsasana, something. You heard all of this? Somebody said that I will do this, then I will be able to control my chitta. That's a myth. That's a wrong information. That's a misrepresentation and hallucination. So those who complete the yama stage, they can only move to the next stage called niyama. It's like a staircase. In the staircase, you cannot have your foot in the middle, then come down or go up. You can't do that. You have to cross one after another steps. Then only you go to the up or come down, isn't it? So now here, to attain the samadhi, one has to attain yama first, that's the first stage. Then the second stage. Then the third stage is asana. So therefore, it is wrong to say if we do yoga, mental maladies and physical maladies will be eradicated. That's a wrong information. Now you got the true picture. What yoga scholars say? Patanjali yoga, yes. What is yama? Yama is nothing to do with yummy. Some people prepare good food. You say it is yummy, but that has nothing to do with yama. Yama is a stage where it says that this stage we need to initiate some process, some practice to control our mind, body parts, and speech. Speech means whatever you speak, whatever you think that comes through your language, whether through your body language or your say utterances, something like that. Are you following me? Whatever you or me, we all of us thinking, that comes through our bodily activity or it comes through our utterances. Okay na? Either ଆମେ ମୁହଁରେ କହୁଛେ ନହେଲେ କାମରେ କରିକି ଦେଖଉଛେ, ଫିଙ୍ଗା ଫୁଙ୍କି କରୁଛେ, ହାତ ମୁହଁ ଏମିତି ବନଉଛେ ଯେ ଲୋକ ଭାବୁଛନ୍ତି ଏ ରାଗି ଯାଇଛି ବୋଧେ। ହଁ କି ନା? ଧର ଜଣେ ମୁହଁରେ କିଛି କହିଲାନି, ଦେଖିକି ମଧ୍ୟ ହେଲୋ ହାଇ କହିଲାନି କି ଗାଳି ଗୁଲଜ କିଛି କଲାନି, ଆଭଏଡ୍ କରି ପଳେଇଗଲା, ତମକୁ କ'ଣ ଲାଗିବ ଏ ଲୋକଟି ବୋଧେ ରାଗି ଯାଇଛି ମୋ ଉପରେ, କାହିଁକି କିଛି କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା ହେଲାନି, କିଛି ମୁଁ ଖରାପ କରିଛି କି? ହଁ କି ନା? ସୋସାଇଟିର ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ନିୟମ। କିଛି କହିନାହିଁ କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମେ ଏହା ଭାବୁଛେ। So therefore there is a bodily actions. Then speech, the utterances. Somebody ମୁହଁରେ ମୁହଁରେ କହିଦେଲେ, ସମ୍ପର୍କ ଖରାପ ହେଇଗଲା କି ସମ୍ପର୍କ ଯୋଡି ଗଲା, ଡିପେଣ୍ଡସ୍ କରେ କ'ଣ ସେ କହିଲେ। So therefore in this stage we need to control our mind, body parts, and speech. So there are 5 yamas that you need to practice. First is ahimsa, means non-violence. You can't afford to have a violence behavior in your thinking as well as in your action. Can you give me an example what it means? Can you relate to a contemporary society phenomenon and give an experience? What is ahimsa?
Speaking a rough language to other people, abusing,
Yes.
should not. So one, if he does not do that, that is ahimsa.
Yes, more or less correct. So ahimsa means non-violence. You should not think to hurt others. You should not be revengeful. You should not keep grudge to take revenge against somebody, something like that. So you should behave in a non-violent way, in a very polite. Let's say somebody offended you, but you don't deserve any offense. You tolerate. You say that, look, that is
ଅନ୍ୟ ପ୍ରତି ହିଂସା ଆଚରଣ ନ କରିବାଟା ହିଁ ହେଉଛି ଅହିଂସା।
correct. So therefore, in our thinking process, we should not inculcate the violence practices. ସବୁ ଦେଖିଥିବେ କଲେଜ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ପଢୁଛନ୍ତି କି ସେ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଅଫିସରେ କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ସବୁ ଭାୟୋଲେନ୍ସ ବୃତ୍ତି ରଖନ୍ତି। ତାର କ'ଣ ସାଲାରୀ ବଢ଼ିଗଲା, ମୋର ବଢ଼ିଲାନି, ଆମେ ସେଇ ଏକା ସମୟରେ ଜଏନ୍ କରିଥିଲୁ, କ'ଣ ହେଲା? ସିଏ କ'ଣ ପ୍ରମୋସନ ପାଇଗଲା, ମୁଁ ପାଇଲିନି, ସିଏ କ'ଣଟା ଉଚ୍ଛନ୍ନ କରିଛି? You heard about all these things? Then slowly the professionalism will disappear. Your work will not be happening together in a collaborative manner. Then the objective will not be achieved. See that? Violence. Further violence is that X belongs to one party, I belong to another party. Why shall I will help him or her to achieve the objectives? ସହରର ଗୋଟେ ରାସ୍ତା ଅବିକା ଟେଣ୍ଡର ଦିଆଯାଇଛି, ମୁଁ କାହିଁକି ତାକୁ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରିବି? ସାର୍ ନ ତାର ନହେଲେ ମୋର ଲାଭ, ତାର ହେଲେ ମୋର କ୍ଷତି, ଏମିତି ହୁଏ କି ନାହିଁ? So these are the mostly violence thought. These to be controlled. That's the first thing, ahimsa. Second one is satya. We need to speak the truth, but not the blunt truth. Like we can't say that, hey, तो बड़ा मोटा देखा जाଉଛି, ସେ ଲୋକଟି କଳା ହେଇଛି, এই ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ଏଗୁଡ଼ା this is ugly behavior. But somebody asks the questions, is it not truth? This is not truth. Truth should be spoken in a very delicate and sophisticated language. Everyone has a freedom to disagree with somebody or agree with someone. But when somebody disagrees, doesn't mean that speak some language that hurts others. Somebody cannot have a misbehavior saying that you belong to this complexion, that complexion. Correct? So this is called satya. So satya means we need to speak the truth, but in a very polite, humble and delicate manner. That should not hurt others. For example, ରାସ୍ତାରେ ଗଲାବେଳେ କହିବ, ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକ କହିବ ଗାଡ଼ି ଚଲା ଶିଖିନି, ଖାଲି ପେଁ ପାଁ ହେଇକି କୋଉଠି କ'ଣ ବଙ୍କେ ବାଙ୍କେ ଗାଡ଼ି ଚଲୁଛୁ, ନୂଆ ଗାଡ଼ି କରୁଛୁ କିରେ? This is a comment. This is not an appreciation, right? So that we should avoid it. ଧର ସ୍କୁଲରେ କିଛି ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ପଢାଉଛି, ତାକୁ ତୋ ଦ୍ୱାରା ପାଠ ଏଇ ଜୀବନରେ ହବନି, ମୂର୍ଖଟା କିଛି ହବନି ତୋ ଦ୍ୱାରା. So that student get demoralized in front of others. Correct? No? So therefore, we should speak the truth by fully knowing that what we are speaking, but it should be a moderate, humble and simple manner. It's not that easy to practice. Right? Suppose sometimes you are so much annoyed. Can you able to control your tongue and speak very soft language? Is it possible? That's difficult to achieve. One has to practice that. That's a part of yama. Then asteya. Asteya means non-stealing. Stealing, चोरी करिया माने नहीं जे काहा घरु साइकिल, गाड़ी, धान, सोना, रूपा चोरी करिया. चोरी करिया माने mentally and physically we should not steal somebody's work. We should respect others' work, creativity. ଆଜିକା ତାରିଖରେ ସବୁ ଡୁପ୍ଲିକେଟ୍ ହେଉଛି, ହର୍ଲିକ୍ସ ପାଖରୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିକି ଅଟା ପାଖରୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିକି ତେଲ ପାଖରୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିକି ହେଉଛି କି ନାହିଁ? ତାକୁ ଗୋଟେ କୌଣସି ଠାକୁରାଣୀ ନାଁ ଦେଇକି ବିକ୍ରି କରିଦେଉଛନ୍ତି, ଲାଷ୍ଟକୁ ଧରା ପଡ଼ିଲା ପରେ ବି ଶରମ ଲାଗୁନି କି ଠାକୁରାଣୀ ନାଁରେ ବିକ୍ରି କରୁଥିଲେ ବୋଲି, ହଁ କି ନା? ତେଣିକି ସେ ଘିଅ ହଉ, କ୍ଷୀର ହଉ, ଯାହା ବି ହଉ, ହେଉଛି କି ନାହିଁ in today's time? So Patanjali said that this should not be practiced. So non-stealing is a good habit and one should not make any duplication. Imagine a situation you are living in a particular country where everything is made as per the description of that package. Will you be able to suspect any product? No. You will see so many varieties, but then you will choose the right product. Now even though you will purchase the right product and by paying a huge amount of money, still you suspect. And today time, if you go to a particular engineer to say get some information, still you suspect. If you go to a particular lawyer to get guidance, still you suspect. If you go to a particular doctor for diagnosis, still you suspect. Why? Because stealing has been practicing and nobody is taking care of this yama. So stealing should be avoided. And many medicines have many duplications. Even many companies, local companies, they make products by taking logo from others, but without giving any endorsement of that main company. Yes or no? So therefore, stealing should be avoided, and that's a part of yama. Then brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means trying to control your sense organs. Suppose in front of you there are chicken, mutton, other dishes would be there. And now you see how people behave. On a plate, they'll take everything, but they'll not be able to completely eat each and everything. They'll throw this food. That food could have been eaten by somebody else. That food could have been used by somebody else. Yes or no? To stop the hunger, to fulfill the stomach. But because of the greediness, because of the sense organs contact to the various foods at a given festival, you see some people, they take all the varieties together on the plate and at the end they'll waste the food. Did you see that? And there we say we need to practice the brahmacharya, celibacy, controlling our sense organs, controlling the pleasure that many people believe that we generate from our private parts or other bodily sense organs. So in this way, they say one need to control one's desire and passion so that one should not attack others. One should not say inculcate his or her animal behavior for somebody else. So this is part of brahmacharya, and it is very difficult. Sometime back, you might have heard or you might have known that there are some caste where when people are in the some family, their kids, they have some poita puja or something like that, and that time if their brother, what is that, I don't know, uncle, maternity uncle will not able to catch them, they will go to the forest and live in an ashram, something like that. ଜାଣିଛ କି ନାହିଁ ଯେଉଁ ପଇତା ଘର ହୁଏ ମାମୁଁ ମାନେ ସବୁ ଧରନ୍ତି ପଇତା ଘର ହେଇସାରିଲା ପରେ, but if the uncle will not able to hold, it simply means that
ସନ୍ନ୍ୟାସୀ ହେଇଯାଆନ୍ତି, ସନ୍ନ୍ୟାସୀ ହେଇଯାଆନ୍ତି କୁହନ୍ତି।
sannyasi heijanti, correct. So that means when the uncle will not able to hold, it means there is no possibility to look back and enter into the grahastya stage. So one should live in the forest called ascetic life and do something for the betterment of the society. And these people also, they cannot visit one village twice because they need to get the rice and other vegetables only one village in 1 week. They have to move to next village. Otherwise, their greed will come to visit only the same village repeatedly, which is not allowed to them. And that's part of brahmacharya. Okay. Next one, aparigraha. It says that unnecessary lavish things like ornaments, cars, bangla, something which you are really not required. Somebody says that I have 5 bangles, but I need another 4 bangles. Suppose somebody say I have 2 gold chain, but I need a bigger necklace. For example, a male person will say that I have 2 cars, but I need another SUV. But these 2 cars he cannot able to ride. He's the only one person, but greedy. You see that? And this is called aparigraha. We should stay away from all the lavish things that are required, not required for life. Correct? Then anyone who succeed in doing that, then only he or she can move to the next stage called niyama. Or anyone who has not succeeded in doing the first stage of yama, there is no point of going to the niyama stage. You see that how difficult it is while living in a materialistic society, how difficult it is to practice it. That is only the first stage of yoga philosophy. Now, niyama, it also has certain components like saucha. Saucha not necessarily means bathing or going to restroom. Saucha means feeling an internal cleaning and outside cleaning of the body, so that body will remain purity. गोटे ड्रेस को 2 दिन पिंधिले कौन होबो कि तुमको निजु को खराब लगो कि इट्स ऑलरेडी स्वेट, इट्स नॉट गुड, इट्स stinking or something like that. You need another dress, may not be a new dress, but neat and clean dress. Yes or no? That's a part of saucha. धर नख गुड़िक रखिथिबो नख बाबाजी भलिया बॉडी जाउथिबो and that fingers you will be using for various purposes, right? Now imagine that all this dirty things are stored there and that mixed with all the things that you are using in your day-to-day activity. That means voluntarily you are inviting diseases for your body, which you could have avoided. Here I do not mean male, female or anything. It's just what yoga philosopher said. I'm telling, don't quote me differently. So therefore I said bathing, pure diet, you have to have hair cutting. Many people believe that what is there in hair. So hair cutting means one has to look good, look fresh, look smart. So hair cutting required. And cleaning of your bathroom, cleaning of your study room, cleaning of your houses, both inside and outside cleaning. Now ओडिसा रे देखियो लोक माने सब कोन करियो परिवा काट सला परे परिवा गुडा को आनी घर सामने रे जो कैनाल अछि त फेक देबे से पची गंध कला जो दिन वर्षा हैला वर्षा पानी जमी गला से गुडा पुनी घर भीतर को फ्री रे आसिला जो फ्री रे आसिला 10 दिन धरि ताको अनुताप कले रिग्रेट कले ना रोसे करि परिवे ना खाई परिवे ना से दुर्गंध रे रहि परिवे हो कि ना ହଉଛି କି ନାହିଁ ଏମିତି କୁହ?
ହଁ ସାର୍ ହଉଛି।
ତା-
ହଉଛି ସେମିତି।
ତାପରେ କହିବ ମ୍ୟୁନିସିପାଲିଟି ବାଲା କିଛି ତ କଲେନି, ଆଉ ଆମେ କଣ କରିବୁ?
ସଫା
ଆଉ ପଚା
କଲେନି।
ପଚା ପାଣି ଘରକୁ ତ ଆସିଲା ତାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଆଉ, ହଉଛି କି ନାହିଁ? So therefore, every human being should look into this saucha. That means what are the way we should keep the environment clean. By chance, if you are going to developed countries like UK, USA, you see that how the roads are clean, how their gardens are clean, the houses are clean. So many things they are doing, everything remains neat and clean. They cannot afford to make dirty. ଆମର ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ଟ୍ରକ୍ ଚାଲିଗଲା ତ ପଛେ ପଛେ କାଦ ଅପରିଷ୍କାର ସବୁ ପଡ଼ିଗଲା, ତ ପଡ଼ିକି ରହିଲା, ବର୍ଷା ନହେଲା ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଧୋଇବାର ନାହିଁ. There is nothing like that. This is called pure environment. You get it. Pure oxygen you get it. ଯେମିତି ଆମେ ଏନଭାୟରମେଣ୍ଟ ରଖିବା ସେମିତି ଆମକୁ ମାନସିକ ସ୍ତର ରହିବ. ଆଚ୍ଛା, ଠାକୁର ଘର କାହିଁକି ଆମେ ପୁଛୁଛେ, କାହିଁକି ଆମେ ସଫାସୁତୁରା କରି ରଖୁଛେ? କାରଣ ଆମେ ଭାବୁଛେ ଭଗବାନ ରହିଛନ୍ତି, ଆମେ ସେଠି ସଫାସୁତୁରା କରିକି ରହିବା, ଓକେ ନା? ସେମିତି ଭଗବାନ ସବୁ ଜାଗାରେ ଅଛନ୍ତି. We need to only maintain the cleanliness. ସପୋଜ ଗୋଟେ ବିଛଣା ରହେ ପୁରା ଅପରିଷ୍କାର ଜମା ଥିବ, ଖାଇବା ଫାଇବା ସବୁ ପଡ଼ିଥିବ, can you sleep well in the night? No. Once you sleep, something will be there. Once you come to other side, something will be there. So nasty. So therefore, one has to think of cleaning. Cleaning means internally cleaning and outside cleaning. For example, nail cutting, hair cutting, something. Now, internal cleaning, it's like friendliness. What language you speak to make your friends? What are the empathy you are extending for others? Like a blind person crossing the street, you will be helping. A small kid wants to purchase something but doesn't able to get the amount, a deduction or something, you help that. Make someone smile and happy, so and so. These are internal cleanliness. In some schools, Saturday, some of the students they go and clean the premises outside of the school. They also plant some trees and sapling in the campus, isn't it? That's part of Saucha. Now, Santosh means contentment. Whatever we have, whether we are happy with that or we are aspiring more and more. So, in this context, yoga philosophers they say we should not aspire more and more. In a given time, given place, whatever we have, we should be happy with that. That's called santosh. Suppose now you are drinking a glass of water, you should be happy with that. Suppose daytime you had a lunch, irrespective of the quality of the food, you should be happy with that. Whatever food you will get it. And in this sense, they say everybody should try to derive the happiness what you are, if not what you have. This is the basic premise they made it. Shall I move on? Now, next one is tapa. Tapa includes the power of tolerance. Tapa doesn't mean that sit in a posture with white color dress or something and do some tapasya. Tapa means tolerance. Suppose ତମକୁ କିଏ ଜଣେ ଗୋଟେ ଗାଳି ଦଉଛି, ଶୋଇଯିବାର କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ଅଛି? Suppose somebody has misunderstood you and try to say something. You listen and clarify doubt. Done. So therefore it requires hard practice. That how to tolerate. Earlier days, the acharya or the saints, they were not requiring any kind of extra clothes in the winter. Neither they were requiring any kind of air conditioning house in the summer season. And this is how they are living in an ascetic life. This is how tapa. That means your body is not really asking for so many pleasures and comfort as and when it experiences with the different weather conditions and climatic conditions of the universe. That's called tapa. Swadhyaya means reading some religious scriptures of your choice. No compulsion. There's a freedom. But whatever you read, you need to understand some essence of it. That's called Swadhyaya. So that some work will be going for reading purpose, learning purpose, knowledge purpose. Then Ishwara Pranidhana means for some time you need to concentrate about a supernatural entity. Like ଘରେ ଆମେ ପୂଜା କରୁଛେ, ତୁଳସୀ ପୂଜା ପାଖରୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିକି ଘର ଭିତରେ ପୂଜା, you remember now? Now relate it, Tulsi Puja, Ishwara Pranidhana. That means from particular time and period, it is our duty to pray to an Almighty who has been helping us for different context in a family. So Tulsi Lord Tulsi or the Mata Tulsi is about well-being of the family, well-being of a home, and therefore we put the entry point. Whenever we enter, we first bow down our head, then we go to the home. Correct, no? Whenever we exit, we again pray to the Tulsi leaf and again lock the door and come out. It means that Tulsi goddesses will take care of the home. Josna, you have some questions? I saw that some hand is raised. Something. Those have questions, feel free to ask. Okay, this is called Ishwara Pranidhana. Ishwara means something that is unseen force. All of us should aspire for it. Because of this force, because of the existence of this force, all of us should try to be humble, simple, and polite in our behavior. Shall I move on next? Those who complete the Yama stage and Niyama stage, they only should go to the Asana stage. Otherwise, doing asana alone would not able to help somebody to attain the the the, the kaivalya or the liberations. What is asana? It is a third stage or an advanced stage of yoga. One has to understand it. And why one has to do the asana? Because to control the mind and body by sitting in a particular postures or doing some postures means it take care of the body. The blood circulation in the body, the elasticity of the tissue, the functions of the oxygen in different part of this. So therefore, there won't be any stone in your kidney or any problem with regard to your eyesight or something, because all the times you are living in a natural world where you are inhaling, exhaling, and elasticity in your all body parts. Correct? So no joint pain, no back pain, no knee pain, no other pains, so on and so forth. So therefore, yoga is helpful. So it says that in this stage, chitta helps to control our body and mind. How many of you know about Padmasana?
Like the posture, I know. Yeah.
So in Padmasana, if you examine the postures, it says that both the knees should be twisted and one has to entangle with others like this. Correct? And in this format, the flesh, the kangaroo flesh of the each leg that get connected. So when kangaroo flesh gets connected and it tied up with the two toes of the both the legs, you have a straight posture. The straight posture tells you that below the waist it becomes horizontal, and above the waist, that's a spinal cord towards the head, that becomes vertical. So horizontal and vertical, that structure tells you like 90-degree, that tells you that you have full control on your lower part and upper part, and you making a balance about it. If you do not trust me, just stand now and put your leg straight cross and put your hand like this and look at the point here. You will not be able to look at the point. Your body will shiver and you will be either falling this side or that side. You ask me why is that test? You go to a particular eye specialist or neurosurgeon. You say that whatever I'm seeing it's showing blur to me. They'll ask you, can you do this first? It means there is some discoordination between your brain and perception and body parts. You see the benefit? And those who are able to sit on the Padmasana posture and can able to chant Om, that is OHM, right? It comes from within, from Navi, and they would have control on their breath, control on their body, control on their spinal cord, and control on the physical postures of the two legs from the joint of the waist. You see the benefit? Only Padmasana. Many of you might be doing it without knowing the regions, without knowing the benefits of it. Correct, no? How many of you know Mayurasana? Mayura means peacock, huh? How many of you know Mayurasana? Anyone? The whole body will be resting on your this elbow, left and right hand elbow. Whole body will be resting, and the palm will be touching on the soil. Right? So the palm will be touching on the soil, fingers will be open, and whole body will be resting on the two elbow of the two hands. So the belly that you see, the all expansion of the body that you will see, it will just get compressed if we are able to do that, because it's not that easy. So at the same time, your hand requires this much strength to take care of the whole body. Why? Because law of gravitation will be forcing the whole body to come down, and here these two hands with the required energy, it's taking care of the whole body in a parallel line. That's not easy. So your hands and your, say, I would say that this muscle, hands muscle, then the what is that called? What is this called? Wrist. All these things should be taken care of that. So no fracture, nothing will happen. In this way, they explain that. So similarly, you have Chakrasana, Garudasana, Mayurasana, etc., etc. How many asana, Ambrish, you know roughly?
Which I can do, or total how many?
You can do, or total you know? How many you can do?
Padmasan I can do, and Chakrasan, Tadasan, then this Vajrasan, then
Good. At least so many. Mamta, how many asana you do? Are you practicing some asana, something like that now? Okay, that's not a problem. So
and Surya Namaskar.
Surya Namaskar. Good. So therefore, if somebody does Surya Namaskar, as it is meant for, 5 times Surya Namaskar, you will get sweat in the winter. In the peak winter, if you want to go to take a dip in the Ganges river, do 5 times Surya Namaskar perfectly, not deceiving to yourself. You'll get sweat. That's the power of Surya Namaskar. That goes from stage 1 to stage 11, correct? No? This is how the power of yoga, asana. Not like putting music and dancing and that's a real YouTube reel, and that's not asana altogether. That's a fun and mockery of that yoga philosophy. Yeah? All right. So this is how the impact of asana. So therefore, it is advisable to retain our immunity of the body, to retain our flexibility in our body, and therefore a healthy mind. One must do exercise every day, whether 20 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or 1 hour. It's up to the individual, depending on his or her busy schedule. Now, by doing the regular things, not just once in a month or twice in a month, something, or whenever you wake up early morning, you do it, and next 10 days you forget it. Now, that will have no impact. So, those who are doing this regular exercise, they would get a benefit of controlling their external body part and internal body parts. Internal body parts like kidney, lungs, and so on and so forth. External body parts like whatever you perceive it. Those who wake up in the early morning, if they know the technique of throwing water to their eyeballs, they don't need any speck immediately when they reach to the 40 or 50 for a normal person. Why? Because there are carbics in between after that eyeball. That hemisphere test tells you what level of eye movement is there, what level of liquid is there. And if somebody does that, once you sprinkle the water, the touch sensation of the water drop that connects to the eye retina generates the liquid in between of that of that clap as well as eye retina. In between there are thick liquid, right? So once that liquid is prepared, your eyeball would function. How it function? You can look at the top right, top left, down right, then left and right, top and down. That's all about the eyeball movement. And this is how one is to understand the benefit of asana. Shall I move on next? How many of you know about pranayama? What is pranayama?
Yeah, to to have pran control, the breath control exercises, uh, like mm, Bhastrika pranayam, Shitali pranayam, Ujjayi
Vilam,
pranayam, uh, and they do Anulom Vilom also, and
Kapalbhati.
Kapalbhati. Yeah.
Good, good. Some of the things, but now they're putting saying different names, but the essence I'll tell you. Pranayama means how to control the breathing system. That's the essence. Now, all of us we inhale and exhale, irrespective of the condition that we live, whether in a medical condition or normal condition. Now, here yoga philosophers they say that most of the individuals, when they experience threat to their life, so the breathing gets disordered. When they feel nervous, the breathing gets disordered. So now to bring the breathing into control, so that they have to do some practices. And what is the need for that? Once somebody gets this control on the breathing system, his or her thinking process would come proper channel to their utterances. Otherwise, whatever we think, we may not able to express it in our words because there will be discoordinations. And how it happens? Because there is a disorder in the breathing system. Therefore, in the interview or something like that, they'll tell you, hey, drink the water, just take breath, and we'll start the session. Something like that you heard? Yeah, in sometimes in something like first time in marriage or something you get very nervous something, huh? Suppose first time you are meeting a senior professors, you get very nervous, what to speak, how to deal with something. Suppose you are appearing the interview and you need the job and you see so many competitors have come, you get nervous. So if you get nervous, your breathing system gets disconnected from your mind to the body, and therefore whatever you think, that would not come to your mouth properly. You will not be able to convey your ideas, you will not be able to answer the questions correctly and clearly. It happens to all of you. Yeah. So in this sense, yoga philosophers they say there are three steps that we need to take care. The first one is called puraka. Puraka means you need to fill in, right? So you take slowly, don't just do that hurriedly. You take your time, count the bits, 1 2 3, then slowly you take the oxygen. That's called purak, full. The time that you have taken to full the breath, the same time you keep it resolve in your body, immediately you should not exhale. Why is it so? Because once you took the oxygen to the body has a different functions, the lungs, kidney, other things. So this body, this oxygen will enter into different part of the body and it mingles with the blood cell. We have white blood cell as well as red blood cell. Yes or no? So whatever we eat that converted into protein, correct? What was corona? When protein get controlled, protein get say corrupted in our body, we get corona. That's simple thing. What is corona disease? Corona disease every human being experience when his or her protein gets corrupted in the body. Correct? No. Now in this case, would say as much time we have taken to inhale the air, same time we need to return. Initially may not be possible, but one can practice it. That's called kumbhaka. Kumbhaka means a kumbha or a ghata that's get full and it should be written as it full. Correct? Okay, now shall I move on next? Recro means take the same time to exhale the air, the hot air. Exhale the hot air. So therefore, it is a myth. On one side, you take say oxygen, and another side you release carbohydrate. And that's myth. This is just a false propaganda. Eh? So whatever God has created, you use that one instead of doing this side. You take oxygen, that side is a carbohydrate. That's useless. That's no meaning. So you take the time to inhale it. The same time you make sure that you keep it in your body, and the same time you take to exhale the oxygen, so that you will not feel after playing something you feel like this. How many of you go to play something, either indoor games or outdoor games? Amrish, do you play something, basketball or something like that, badminton, football, volleyball, anything?
Uh, Nowadays, I'm only doing running mostly, but earlier I used to play all sports.
Even
Now I'm not.
running, after your say strength, after your limitation, if you push yourself, you will feel out of breath,
Yeah.
and then that time you will feel like you are exhausted, isn't it?
Yeah.
So here they say that puraka means control that oxygen, how much time you will took, and in bit and the second stage is that put it in your body. Don't exhale immediately. Then you exhale it. How do you control your breathing? Once you are getting tired, you control in this way, slowly, slowly, slowly. Initially, some people have an habit to adjust that air through the mouth, right? If you do that, that's not a good habit. You must use your nose to do that. Then only you will control all this nervous system over there, and then you will have full concentration what you say. That's a beautiful way it's explained. Puraka, kumbhaka, and reka. Done. Next. This is how I explained. I need to read it. The same thing I explained. Now, then pratyahara. Pratyahara means anybody. What do you mean by pratyahara?
Withdrawal of senses is
Say
pratyahar. Withdrawal of senses.
no. I will say, pratyahara means something comes to you. You determine on your own. No, I don't need that. Suppose in your subconscious state, somebody tells you, "Hey, do you need an SUV to drive to go to your office?" You said, "No, I have a small car enough." Somebody tells you, "Hey, others are also having so many necklaces. Do you really need that?" Then you ask, then you tell yourself, "No, no, I have only one. I don't need further." Controlling your desire on your own by putting an effort. That's called pratyahara. Something will come to you naturally, but you say that no, no, no. This is how the mind you will exercise so that you will have control on the mind. That's pratyahara. Somebody gives you a gift, but you know that that's not a gift, that's a bribe. You simply say that no to it because you know the distinction between gift and bribe. When you are an officer, there are many occasions you may not be able to distinguish, but all of us we know through our rationality what is called gift and how it is different from bribe. Yes or no? Yeah. Suppose a contractor is giving a new brand SUV to an engineer who is responsible for road construction, NH construction, right? Now, what you consider? It is bribe or it is gift? So now that assistant engineer is going to celebrate the marriage anniversary. The contractor who is yet to apply the tender, but not applied the tender, but given a new SUV red color to that engineer. What do you consider it is a bribe or gift?
It's a bribe.
You now therefore you know the distinction. Suppose a company, medicine company, gives a few say amount for the hotel stay in foreign country for the flight expenditure of a doctor physician, and in return the doctor is forced to ask the medicine or prescribe the medicine that belongs to that company. What do you consider? Is it a gift or a bribe?
It is bribe.
Now you see the distinction. On the teacher's day, a student came and give a small bouquet to the teacher. It's a gift or bribe.
It's gift.
Correct. So in this way, we know the distinction between gift and bribe. So in this way, we need to find out if some worldly position that come to us, we need to decide whether we need to reject it or not. If you reject it, it will be very nice to practice this stage called pratyahara. Pratyahara means you said, I'm not associated with this. I'm not going to attach with this. That's called pratyahara. All right. Like somebody is using iPhone 15. You say that I have a Samsung phone or some other phone. That's okay. Perfectly working. Why I should go for iPhone? What is there? So dissociation from that attachments. Okay. What is dharana? Anybody? What is dharana? What comes to your mind if I say dharana?
Dharan is to hold on to a particular focused thought.
Yes, yes. Now in this stage, what happens? An ordinary person should sit on a particular posture that that is a comfortable posture for him or her. Any posture of his or her choice. then concentrate on one object. While doing that, he or she may realize that his or her mind is taking him or her to different objects. Again, he or she has to drag from that object and concentrate on the object that he or she has decided. That would not happening very easily. It requires so much attention, so much dedications, and so much persuasion. Then only he or she can able to achieve. Now think just for a few minutes. You shut your eyelids and try to concentrate on an object of your choice. How much time you can concentrate? After a few seconds, you'll find that your mind is getting attached to something else. Try. All of you should try. Shut your eyelids and decide to what you need to concentrate. And you see how many seconds after that your mind is taking you to different place. Try. Correct? Did you experience? Ambrish, did you experience?
Yeah, mind is wavering.
Having? So that's because we don't have control on mind and sense organs. In those years, few thousand years back, Patanjali Yoga Sutra, they understood it. And therefore they said this has to be controlled. See that? The knowledge, the wisdom they were having earlier years. Now, therefore, this is the stage one is to practice. How many of you know that there are circles? Some religion they put some circles. Each circle has a different color, and the middle point will be some red color. So if you cannot concentrate on the middle point, go to a bigger one, go to bigger one, go to bigger one. Then the very big one you can concentrate. That they paint it on the wall.
Yeah,
Can you relate it something? What I'm saying?
yeah. Mantras and mandalas and yantras.
Yeah. The whole purpose is that if you cannot concentrate on the center, which is a color, then you go to the next bigger domain. Then the whole world would be having a different color that you can look into it. That's called dharana. That you will be able to know how frequent your mind is fluctuating and what level of control you need to control your mind and sense organs and body parts. And you see how much challenging it is. Shall I move on next?
Yes.
It's called dhyana. So here you would be able to slowly realize that you are having control on your mind. It would not so frequent. Your mind will fluctuate from one entity to another entity. Your mind will not take you to some other entity immediately. In that time, you yourself, you means anybody for that matter, you will be able to realize that you have control on your mind and sense organs. Without your commands, mind and sense organs are not going to attach an object that is not necessary for you. That is not the basic necessity for you. This is called dhyana, a stage where you realize the impact of meditation. The body will feel so light. You will feel that you are dissociated from the worldly miseries. That is the stage one is to realize. One cannot experience the way we experience worldly object through our sense organs. So here the aspirant realizes the whole object is a small entity. The whole small entity becomes the so bigger. In this stage, you take a dot pen and put a dot somewhere, it's a spot or a mark. Then shut your eyelids. You expand it. After some time, you see that oh, it has so expanded that the pixel is not visible. It just becomes another image, right? But if you reach to this stage, a small dot you can imagine and expand logically, go slowly, you can able to create a big Himalaya mountain. Similarly, if you reach to this stage, such a big Himalaya mountain which is not perceivable by us at a given moment, so you can compress and narrow down with a small dot which you started initially, and that's not easy. That's a mind-boggling task. You see this? Yoga philosophers, they say. So nowadays people are doing asana, some posters, they say that we are doing yoga, that's myth. Huh? You say you are doing asana, not yoga. Yoga means so many things, starting with yama, niyama, pranayama, etc. etc. Shall I move on to the last? This is called samadhi. So in this stage, there will be a concept called chitta bhuti nirodha. Look at the last statement I said. So whenever the mind is connecting to an object through sense organs, mind decides whether to conceive the idea of the object or leave it as it is. So in that time, the person or the self that we have, the self has a full control on our mind, on our sense organs, and that is the stage where one can aspire to integrate his self with the supernatural self, and that is called true form of living on this earth. Mostly you will find, say, in Buddhist monks they do that. Sometimes you will find Jain monks they do that. Digambara, Swatambara, so and so. For not having any food for 15 days, they can survive. And if you see that, they will be eating like this because palm is the repository of the universe. They'll also drink the water from here, not from the glass or something else. Have you seen that? And this is the stage where the body they possess, but given by somebody else. But they only know that what is the self that is there in their body, and that self they try to connect with the supernatural self, which is the cause for their bodily existence, which is cause for their mental existence on this earth. And anyone who achieves this stage, it's called chitta bhuti nirodha. That means chitta consists of mind, intellect, and ego. Everything get controlled. Correct. This is all about yoga philosophy. How was it?
Yeah, it was very comprehensively covered.
This is all yoga philosophy. Like something that you need to tell others. Yoga means not just about asana. Yoga means many more things. And pranayama means you don't say that in one side you take oxygen, another side carbon dioxide. That's so false informations, wrong informations. Done. Any other questions?
This Patanjali Yoga Sutra, roughly when it emerged in the
Too long.
history.
I think it's close to Sankhya philosophy that time. Many years
Uh,
back, around 2000, 3000 years back. That time there is no electricity, no water to drink. People were relying on the stream waters or the river waters. That time people were having so much intellect in Indian continent that they could think about something very beautiful concepts. Those are directly relevant even today time, where people are using technology for their survival. Still, these are the relevant concepts for today times. So they are great thinkers in that time, isn't it? That's called Patanjali Yoga Sutra.
and this Yoga Vasishta, what, how does it fit into our? What is it talk? What does it talk about, and what is its?
Just get commentaries on the Yoga Bhasya. Yoga Bhasya is a text. Yoga
Okay.
Bhasya is a commentary text, and this sages just made commentary on that. Earlier days, everything was written in Sanskrit. It was very difficult to interpret and read. Few section of people were interpreting. Then many people wrote commentary on that in a summary time. And when they wrote commentaries, sometimes they might have also misinterpreted something. Then the next stage of sages came and corrected the commentaries, and that text are used as a classical text for our philosophical discussion, debates, interpretation, arguments, ideas, so on.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions, or I'll wind up the session today? You want me to discuss something else? It will be too heavy for you
Yeah.
because all these stages itself will be heavy for one class, correct? So,
Yeah.
what I would suggest is that you go to my YouTube lectures on yoga philosophy. Depending on your leisure time and free time, you watch this and you will find these are helpful. So, you'll be able to find out what is the notion of chitta, how yoga philosophy is related to Sankhya philosophy, what are the commonalities and differences that we find between yoga philosophy and Sankhya philosophy. Then, much after that, you will also find the discussion about eightfold path prescribed by Ashtangika Yoga. Okay.
Okay.
All right. With this, I will end our class today. If you have no questions, I hope you will
Yeah.
be able to read the text on your own. If you have any difficulty, we'll discuss that. So tomorrow is Saturday. We have class at 11. Correct, no?
Sunday you said 11.
Sunday or Saturday? Can you check that?
Earlier you had said Sunday, but I
Uh,
don't know.
no. What is the message that you got it from?
No message SMS we have not received about this.
I'll check and I'll tell you. Just a second. Because Professor Santosh sent me a message. So let me check that. Ah, yes. So we are rescheduling this class on 25th 11. That means Sunday.
Yeah.
Correct. Sunday. 25th 11. So all of you should be there if you are interested. Is the Sunday okay for you or you will be having other works?
It's fine for me, but Saturday tomorrow class is there or no? So Sunday, okay,
Saturday I have other engagements.
okay.
All of you will be there. Joshna, Mamta and others. Amir Khan
Yes, sir.
will be there. We have another four more
Yes,
class to
sir.
left. We'll have four more class to left, something like that. Thanks, Soumya Khan. We'll have four more class to left or something. How many classes?
I yeah, Saturday, Sunday.
No,
Oh, sorry, Saturday not there.
Friday. 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 Monday.
no. Next Monday we have class, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something.
Monday na.
Today is Friday.
No, this week class I have taken, and
Monday. Okay.
one day
Starting
class I
Monday.
missed. One day class I missed. Therefore, we are adjusting it on Sunday. Now, once the Sunday class is over, then how many class we left?
1 second. Ah,
Monday na starting Friday, I think.
Oh, how many classes then in that class? Okay, just check it. Just a second.
3 classes.
Three more.
Total 3 class.
So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, right?
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Oh, this is so easy. Okay, just a second. Let me check that. So accordingly, I'll plan what we need to discuss. Huh? This is how I ask. So what are the other schools that you want me to discuss? You have any idea? I have discussed Charbaka. I have discussed yoga
But
philosophy.
this s- Vaishishka, Nyaya Vaishishka,
Huh, that I'll discuss.
that is very important for me.
Okay. Oh, we have class 26th and 27th along with Sunday, right? So
Yes.
next class I will discuss about Nyaya philosophy. Is that okay?
Yeah. So we have Sankhya, Nyaya Vaishishka, yoga we have completed.
Okay. So what I'm doing
So
mostly,
Mimamsa.
okay. So what I'll do mostly, Sunday class I will be dealing with Sankhya.
Okay.
Monday class I will deal with Nyaya Vaisheshika together.
Okay.
And Tuesday class, any other doubts, if you have, I'll be able to address those. Otherwise, I'll be dealing with something to do with Vedantic traditions. Okay.
Mimamsa, this
Ah,
is Vedantic tradition. Okay.
yes. It's a pre-Vedanta. Imansa is
Yeah.
pre-Vedanta, then Advaita
Uh,
Vedanta, right? That I'll discuss about it.
okay. Yeah.
So that Tuesday we'll wind up the session. Correct.
Uh,
All right. So with this, I'm signing out from my end. Take care and read the text whenever you are free. Or if you have any still difficulty, you'll be finding to understand the concepts. Let me know in the next class. That is Sunday at 11 a.m. Thank you and good night.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.